which is La Vida Dominicans initiative of Cine y Cultura at San Rafael High School. So we will now pass it on to Doctora Lucia Leon.
Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Zoe, for sharing. So I want to tell you a little bit about Cine y Cultura. It was part of my La Vida Community Engagement Fellowship. So in collaboration with the Center for Community Engagement and San Rafael High School, I developed Cine y Cultura, which was really modeled as an ethnic studies film series where we could talk about critical and important topics within the experience of Latinos in the United States. So over a series, 5-part series on Friday mornings, we would join the high schoolers on their campus. And we this semester showcased Made in LA, which is about Latina, Chicana garment workers in LA fighting for labor rights. And A Million Miles Away, a recent film about Jose Hernandez, who grew up in Stockton, California, and went on to become an engineer and an astronaut. And each Friday, we had about 35 to 50 high school students join us. And as Zoe said, the majority were recently arrived to the United States. And so they were in that transition period. The majority were Spanish speaking. So we watched all the films in Spanish. And then we transitioned into talking circles. So we'd watch the film for a little bit. And then in our talking circles, I had guided questions for our Dominican students to facilitate these conversations with the high schoolers. And the questions were really about their thoughts and takeaways from the film. And so these talking circles became really animated spaces for our Dominican students to facilitate conversations about the high schoolers' experiences, their cultural connections, the spaces to practice a Spanish skill set or English skill set as well. And our students really got a chance to share their educational journeys with the high schoolers and to hear also their experience as students, and all centered and focused around what it means to be a Latino in the United States. What does it mean to be a Latino immigrant? What does it mean for Latinos to be in the workforce, to be in these educational trajectories? What are their experiences? How do we see our own families mirrored in that process? And so again, thank you very much to the students who joined us. We had every given Friday, we had anywhere from 3 to 9 service learning students, La Vida students, who would join us on a nice morning with our students. So thank you very much for that collaboration. And I think Yuliana is next. I'm going to pass it on to her to tell us a little bit about what it was like for her as a student with Cine y Cultura. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctora Leon. So my name is Yuliana Cervantes. I am a sophomore nursing major this year, and the service learning classes that I took was immigration and citizenship philosophy with Doctora Leon, and my history class, evolution of history, with Dr. Cynthia Taylor. And I participated in study skills at San Rafael High School. And this program was there to help these students who did not receive good grades in their math and English course in their 8th grade year. So most of these students did not get promoted, but are having that second chance in our study skills class. So we would help them with tutoring, with math skills and English, whatever they needed to do. But most of the cases, these students didn't want to do their homework. It's any typical high schooler. And so finally, towards the end of the semester, we were able to get these students to do their homework. The only one fact that we did find interesting was that the library is not open to these students. And the majority of the population, as mentioned before, is 70% Latino students. So I really did see a big, impact on how the library is not open for these students and how they not have the same opportunities as other students, as well as Latino students do rank lower while testing sometimes due to having learning disabilities that are not diagnosed yet. And I also participated in Cine and Cultura with Doctora Leon. I went on 2 Fridays, and it was very interesting seeing all the Spanish speaker students who I haven't seen in my study skills class, and how their journeys coming here impacted their life till this day, as my class was mainly about citizenship and do you belong here? How can you get here? And who paid? And basically a lot of these students did have those stories that resonated with A Million Miles Away, of coming here and being farm workers and, echándole ganas, like trying to do as much as they can to provide for themselves and their families. Overall, this experience has changed my view on these students, and I hope people will be able to participate in Cine and Cultura for the years to come, as they can see these children and how we change their minds of how they live, and how we should also see how they are and change in the future for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leon and Yuliana, for sharing about that.